Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be showing you the DaYan ZhanChi V5. I'm a relatively old cuber. When I was just up and coming as a cuber, DaYan hit us with a lot of new releases. The ZhanChi was one of them, so that was my main for quite some time as a young cuber. So whenever DaYan releases a ZhanChi, I get really excited because we all know that the ZhanChi is a legendary brand and that DaYan has really nice plastic. So we're looking forward to a cube that turns well, has good features, and has great plastic. Before we open these, just like to give you some info on each cube. So there are three versions. There is Standard, Fancy, and Supreme. Standard is the base version, and that is $29.99. Fancy is the next level of Fancy, and that's $34.99, and Supreme is $39.99. Side note, the Supreme one is called Premium on TheCubicle.com. I don't know why there's a name discrepancy, but Supreme, Premium, same thing. Okay, so let's unbox these. Let's start with the standard one. So we'll put these to the side. We'll unbox the standard one. Pretty cool box. Let's see what kind of accessories we have. Ooh, this bag feels great. I don't know, I think it's pretty close. Okay, anyways. Bag, pamphlet, this crazy tool. I don't even know what this is. And then other pamphlet. This one's really important. So, before we adjust the cube, let's open the box. Alright, cool. This is glossy, it's not UV, and there are some scratches on the pieces. I'm hoping that this sample is an outlier and that DaYan has better QC. Let's turn it. So it has a very comfortable DaYan plastic feel, which is really nice. This is what I expected DaYan to feel like. The corner cutting is pretty nice. So the reverse cutting is a little much if you force it, but also there's something in here that stops it from being in a position like this where the reverse cutting is tough. But yeah, reverse cutting is a little tough, forward cutting is great. The cube is a little squashy, so the end slices feel a little unstable, but otherwise, this is an okay cube. Nothing about it blows me out of the water, but it's also not terrible. So let's pull out my phone timer and let's do some solves. Alright, one more. Oh my god, I thought the V perm was an A perm. That was still better than my previous time. Okay, that's a 10. I'll take it. Right off the bat, out of the box, the cube moves well. It's got really nice feeling plastic, but it's a little unstable. So I feel like if I'm turning faster, I have less trust in the cube. So let's take a look at how we can adjust the cube. I assume that we'll need this pamphlet to explain, and then this crazy tool to adjust it. So we're gonna open this and see how it goes. Oh my god. So the magnets I understand. The magnet setting 1 is the weakest, setting 6 is the strongest, so I can increase the magnet strength. And then here, I see 4 slots. I assume there's going to be magnets in here. Okay. Adjust center travel. Manually twist the outer ring's protruding part clockwise. The inner ring number aligned with the center indicator slot represents the current setting. Huh? Manually twist the outer ring's protruding part counterclockwise. The outer ring number aligned with the number 5 on the Sorry, it's late in the day. The number 5 on the inner circle represents the current set. Okay, alright, so 5 is the indicator for tension. And the inner number aligned with the central indicator slot. What is the central indicator slot?
It's highlighted in red in the pamphlet.
No, it's highlighted in blue. Okay, so it's this line right here. Okay, so the inner number. So right now we're on center travel 3, and we're on tension 3.
Does the 3 line up with the 5 on the inner circle?
Yes, so the 3 lines up with the 5 on the inner circle, and that the 3 lines up with this line on the inner line. So, okay, alright. So as far as tension goes, like, I feel like it's okay. I want to make the magnets a little stronger, but I also know that there are 2 other versions that might have more features that we want to play with. So let's open those. This one is Supreme. I'll save that for last. This is Fancy. Alright. Please give me cube. Oh, there's a piece of tape stuck on it. Okay, this one's also scratched up. Yeah, I'm not happy about the condition of these pieces. This one has a different internal. This is kind of like mint, which is really cool. This is white. So this cube is faster out of the box, and it seems a little more stable. Like, I feel like I can trust it a little more. This one is the $34.99 fancy version. It has magnet adjustments, and then let's see what's on there. Okay. So why is this fancy? All right, so the reason this one is fancy is it has repelling edge magnets inside here and maglev. Okay, so that's the reason it's more stable. Let's do some solves on this guy. Okay, so in solves, this cube still feels a little floppy. Not as unreliable as the first one, but still, like, it's really hard to count on this cube. Alright, that was pretty good. I feel like that was a good time, but I was being more careful than I normally am solving. So let's get rid of some of this. Is it bad manners if I just push everything off?
Yeah, but...
Alright, let's do the last one. I'll clean up after this. So we have standard and fancy, and then this is the supreme. Okay. Ooh, look at this. How the heck do you open this? Ah, here we go. What is this? Okay, alright, cool. Look at this. How crazy is this? Let's open this cube. So. This is the supreme or premium version of this cube. This is $39.99, and it has these weird magnets. Let's read here. Switch axis magnet component. Remove, press down the component, twist 90 degrees, install. Okay, strong, weak, none. So this one has kind of like, would you say this is lilac? Purple?
I call it purple, but lilac is probably more accurate.
Lilac is good, okay, alright. So there's a magnetic thing here, and then magnetic things here that attracts, which is actually pretty cool. But what do the magnets do? So how does this work?
The cap moves relative to the magnets.
Caps move relative to the magnets.
So like the adjustment system is stationary, but the cap moves around it. So the magnets only attract when it's aligned.
But like in speed solving, why do the magnets help?
It's intended to be another small radius positioning system. Like similar effect to core magnets.
Okay, but it already has core magnets.
Yes, but this version does not have repelling edge magnets.
Yes.
They took that out.
As my colleague Steven expertly explained, this version does not have repelling edge magnets. Instead, it has this weird magnet thing on the inside here that acts as another small radius. But the radius of this is bigger still than the radius of the corner core, right?
Well, on one axis, yeah. But like...
Oh!
it's a really small axis on the direction that it rotates.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm just gonna start cubing. Let's do this. So we actually have one copy of this that's set up. We set it up a few days ago. So I'll do an out-of-the-box solve, and then I'll switch to the setup one, and then I'll show you guys what that looks like. Okay, that wasn't bad. Here is the setup version. You can tell that the DaYan plastic reacts really well with lube. It has really good piece-to-piece contact. Yeah, it feels great lubed. Wow, that was a 9, but didn't stop the timer. That felt pretty good though, I like that solve. Nice. That was a good solve. That was mid 8. No. All right, I think that's it for the solves. So one thing to point out with this cube is that it is quite heavy. Like, you can feel it. It's 83 grams. We've been reviewing GAN 15s and ZhanChi XT3s recently, so this weight is noticeable. I grew up with pretty heavy cubes, so holding a heavy DaYan isn't a big deal to me, but in comparison to a lighter cube, it is really obvious that this cube is heavy, and the turn is also a little more substantial too. Let's do this. I'm gonna change the settings, make this one a little bit tighter, because I feel like I'm overturning on this one, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, so adjust the tension. Manually twist the outer ring's protruding part counterclockwise. All right, I'm gonna compress it by turning it counterclockwise. So right now, it's lining up 5 and 3. Now it's lining up 5 and 4. Okay. I just skipped one.
What is it on?
5-5. Hold on, I'll just go back. I want it to be on 5-4. Now we're talking. Now we're good here. All right, so I have adjusted the cube. It requires you to pay a lot of attention to what you're doing, so it's definitely not easy. Steven has more experience adjusting these than I do. He's the one who set up this other cube, and he told me that sometimes the adjustment system simply doesn't work.
If you do the counterclockwise adjustment, sometimes it just goes against the ratchet and does the clockwise adjustment backwards.
Okay.
So if you're trying to increase compression, sometimes it'll decrease tension instead.
Yeah, the cube is indeed tighter. My times are so bad. All right, let's gather these cubes around here. So my personal opinion on this cube is it's really interesting. You know, I'm an avid speedcuber. I love 3x3 hardware. So if there's something interesting, I think I'm going to go for the most interesting version, which is the Supreme/Premium one. I think these are usable, but I think if you're going to pay $30 or $35, you can get a Weilong V10 or an RS3 V5 or an XT3. Steven's looking at me. You could get a Hudong too. Hudong chain in the comments. I would definitely recommend the premium version if you want to get one of these cubes. Definitely take your time adjusting it because it's not straightforward. I feel like until I use this cube a lot, I'm going to be constantly looking at the manual to remind myself like what number needs to be lined up with what. So let me just try to recite it. So tension is the inner number lining up with that line on the inside, and elasticity is whatever number on the outside ring lines up with a number 5 on the inside. Aced it. So, is my performance good on these cubes? Not so much on these. I had some pretty good times on the Premium/Supreme version, but I'm pretty sure that I can get those nice times on basically any nice cube, including my main. There's really no compulsion for me to go and make this my main, but I do acknowledge that it's a very interesting piece of hardware. Really interesting in a good way, but maybe not compelling enough to replace the MOUs and the GANs that people might be using now. Yeah, that's about it for the video. Thanks for watching as always. Hope you learned something new, and we'll be sure to unbox and show you guys new puzzles real soon. See you guys.